call the meeting to order for September 13, 2023. Notice of this meeting is duly advertised in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Law. Notice the Sunshine Law, please be advised that this meeting is being audio recorded for possible playback. Everyone, please rise on the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hess. Here. Councilman Lankowski.
Here.
Councilman Morrison.
Here.
Councilwoman Patton.
Here.
Councilwoman Silly. Here. Councilman Randolph Sharp has excused absence. Mayor.
Here, first off, I'd like to apologize for being late this evening, but a lot of people looked at it because I was here last month. I apologize. All right, approval of minutes for council meeting August 9th, 2023. Councilwoman Hess, Councilman Lewandowski, and myself were absent. Motion, I'm sorry.
So moved.
And a second.
Second. Councilwoman Hess. Abstain. Councilman Lankowski. Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Silly. Yes.
Is there any motion to payment of bills, please, that are duly ordered by the treasurer?
I make a motion that the bills be properly audited and be signed and be approved for payment.
And a second, please.
Second.
Question?
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilman Lankowski.
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey.
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons. Yes.
Following reports are filed and are available in the respective office for review and will be included in the minutes. The tax collector's report, sewer report, and treasurer's report. At this time, we're going to have a public hearing on regards to the 2023 Community Energy Plan. Sir, you're up. And Mayor, I'm sorry.
Thanks, Mayor. I'd like to introduce my professional planner, Schneider. Just read for me.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. My name is Janisa Corbin. I'm a planner with Burlington and Burning Engineers. I'm here tonight to give a brief overview of the Community Energy Plan draft that's been provided to you, I think some time ago. And just to answer any questions that the Council might have or public that's here tonight for the plan draft. As you may know, the state had adopted an energy master plan in 2020, a little over 3 years ago, outlining some strategies and initiatives to help reach their goal of 100% clean energy by 2050. And in order to do that, the Energy Master Plan established that a community level action is necessary in order to reach that 100% clean energy goal by 2050. So the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities established the Community Energy Plan Grant Program for municipalities to develop a community energy plan to meet the goals of the state's energy master plan. So in essence, the Energy Master Plan provides a framework for a statewide transition to 100% clean energy, while the Community Energy Plan Grant Program provides supports to municipalities to develop a climate action plan at the local level. These local actions have specific focus on energy resilience, renewable energy, and energy efficiency. And that's what the Community Energy Plan that's been drafted to the municipality contains. The borough applied to the grant program last year under Resolution 2022-85, and along just in June 2022, so a few months thereafter, along with 45 other municipalities, the borough received a grant to develop this community energy plan. The community energy plan contains, the bulk of it contains an action plan. It outlines the implementation details for potential initiatives that the borough could take on based on several strategies that's been outlined in the draft. And these initiatives will require not just borough initiative, but also outreach to other municipalities, other organizations, businesses, nonprofits, to effectively implement these initiatives within each of the strategies identified in the plan. It specifically includes details such as what departments will be involved in order to make this specific initiative successful, and what staff or personnel, potential stakeholders, as well as recommended tangible next steps in order to achieve that initiative. And most importantly, potential funding resources as well is outlined in each of the initiatives. Essentially, this plan serves as a guide, a resource for the borough for the short and long term, providing availability of resources. It would enable the borough to tackle the initiatives identified in this plan. I won't bore you with all the too many details, but I'm here to answer any questions you may have on the draft. So I will step and I'll take any
Does
questions.
anybody have any questions? Anyone from the public have any questions?
Yeah, how much of a grant?
It was $25,000.
That's it?
That was to do what you did.
Yes, to develop the plan.
We didn't adopt the plan.
Yes, we're here tonight to have the public hearing, and then I believe subsequently we'll adopt the plan.
What are the current goals of the plan? Obviously, to reach 100% renewable energy, but what are the measurables that you're trying to achieve, say, within the first 1 year or 3 years of the plan?
Yes, so the plan includes many initiatives, and in each of the initiatives includes a certain time frame. So an initiative to, for example, adopt an ordinance that supports electric vehicle charging stations could take about 2-3 months. And so it's really at the discretion of the municipality to take on these initiatives. And the plan has the information and all of the resources that the municipality needs to achieve that specific initiative. So time-wise, it varies in each of the initiatives.
And is there a spot we could go to take a look at the plan to follow along with the thinking behind this
Yes,
process?
I believe the plan is available at the clerk's office.
Okay. Thank you.
But not online.
I'm sure it will be after it's adopted.
So you have to physically go to the township to look at it before we adopt it, because you can't get it online. And when people work during the day, they can't get there, so they can't get to see it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's available online yet.
Not at the present time, it hasn't been adopted, so it's not on one.
So, one of the things that you were talking about was the various initiatives. You're going to present this plan, or have presented it to the borough. Do they necessarily have to adopt all those initiatives, or are there certain lines that they can adopt?
Yes, so the initiatives were initially identified at the first public hearing portion for this plan. And so in each of the initiatives, we provided them information. And so the borough can essentially take those initiatives and try to achieve those. And some can be feasible and some may need additional outreach.
But the plan from the state is that the municipalities that participate in this program will follow their guidelines in order to achieve the goal by 2050.
Yeah, it's a guideline, it's a framework, depending on what the goal of the municipality is.
And these initiatives, even though it'll be cost effective, and how will it affect the budget now?
I'm not sure if the borough has any plan to adopt any of these initiatives in the short term. I think they will need to review and analyze each of the initiatives and determine which initiatives can be feasibly achieved in the short term.
And are we allowed to ask questions to the borough, or do we have to wait till you open?
You have to wait till the open section. Anything else, anyone? All right, seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Second reading, ordinance 2023-16, amend chapter 386, sanitary standards. Open to the public for any questions or comments regarding ordinance 2023-16. Seeing none, close the meeting to the public and entertain a motion, please.
I make a motion that ordinance 2023-16 be adopted on second reading and published according to law.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hess,
Yes.
Councilman Lankowski,
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
First reading, ordinance 2023-17, amend chapter 100 for burning outdoors. Entertain a motion, please.
I make a motion that ordinance 2013-17 be adopted as read on first reading, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall with the second reading be held at our next regular meeting.
And a second, please.
Second.
Questions? Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess,
Yes.
Councilman Lankowski,
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Consent agenda. The items listed below are considered routine by the Borough of Lindenwold and will be enacted upon in one motion. There will be no formal discussions of these items. If discussion is desired, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Entertain a motion for resolution 2023-161 through 169.
I make a motion that consent agenda items, resolution 2023-161 to 169 be adopted as read.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess,
Yes.
Councilman Lankowski,
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Resolution 2023-170. Counselor.
It's a resolution authorizing the execution of an employment agreement with the exception of the provision calling for an automatic promotion from clerkman to clerk 2 with the UFCW.
Entertain a motion, please.
I make a motion that resolution 2023-171 be adopted as read. 170 be adopted as read.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess,
Yes.
Councilman Lankowski,
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Resolution 2023-171. Counselor.
It's a resolution authorizing the salary for the public defender.
Entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
And a second. Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess,
Yes.
Councilman Lankowski,
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
And resolution 2023-172. Counselor.
Resolution authorizing the promotion of Thomas Pace to a C3 operator effective October 1st, 2023.
Entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Hess,
Yes.
Councilman Lankowski,
Yes.
Councilman Morrissey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Patton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons.
Engineers report. You're up, sir.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good. I'd just like to report briefly on my status report that, as you can see, the municipal parking lot is well on the way. Should be completed probably in the next 30 days for the next meeting. I also just want to highlight from discussion with the NJDOT project manager regarding the traffic signal at Route 30 and US Avenue. According to his preliminary review of the survey information received, he doesn't foresee any problems that could delay significantly, so the project should be moving forward. It's already been authorized for design, so hopefully within the year, we should see construction completion of that project.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you, I'm sure everybody will be happy when you have it done.
Any other questions? I'd be happy to answer.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This time, I'm going to open to council. Councilman, Councilman Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Fire department responded to 84 calls last period and responded to 3 search and rescue calls. There were 19 inspections, 10 re-inspections completed. The tower ladder has finally been repaired and returned to service. Now that it's back, the squad vehicle has to go in for some maintenance and repairs. That's not expected to take anywhere near the amount of time the tower ladder took. The new command vehicle they were waiting for has been delivered from the dealership. There was some discussion. They have a 2007 Chevy Suburban, which they are discussing whether or not they have an alternate use for it or considering selling it. And lastly, and probably most importantly, if you're a homeowner and you need fire smoke alarms, free smoke alarms are still available for homeowners. You just have to call the office at 856-346-0935. That's all I've got. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hess.
Thank you, Mayor. Lindenwold Public Works, monthly report for August. Tons of trash collected, 781. Tons of recycling collected, 99. Bulk items collected, 284. Scrap metal picked up, 65. Concrete picked up, 7. Stumps and logs picked up, 7. Service calls, 36. Stoppages, 14. Main stoppages, 0. Emergency calls, 11. Markouts, 8. Pump station repairs, 4. Trouble areas jetted, 2. Pump stations factored, 1. For Laurel Springs, there was 4 service calls, 4 stoppages, 1 emergency call. For the Lindenwold Police Department for August, total call service 1,766. Traffic accidents 35, community policing 156, traffic enforcement stops 92, criminal complaints issued by officers 24, traffic summons issued by officers 28, criminal complaints issued by citizens 6, traffic summons issued by citizens 0, Detective Bureau investigations 49. I just want to say also with Public Works, their system with everything online for bulk pickup. I had to have a refrigerator picked up. I went online on Sunday, and every Monday is bulk pickup for appliances. They were right there picking it up on Monday. And I just did everything online. I thought it was quicker than waiting for Monday, making a phone call, and have to wait till the following week. Everything was done online, and it worked wonderful. That's all that I have. Thank you. You doing Cheryl's now? I have Cheryl's. Councilwoman Sharp. This is for inspections. 150 CO inspections, 21 smoke inspections, 75 violations were found, 102 violations written, 121 abatements, 0 tickets written, 0 court Zoom, 0 court in person, 364 yearly re-inspections. I don't know what RR means on here. 129, what is it?
Rental registration.
Oh, rental registration inspections. 129 rental registration re-inspections. 0 vehicles tagged and removed. 0 illegal clothing bins tagged and removed. 0 trailers. 4 foreclosures. 3 sites found doing work without permits. There are no businesses open that did not apply for mercantile. 0 business without approvals. 0 dumpsters on the streets without approvals. 1 street opening. 81 resident communications. And that's all for construction office. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Mendoza.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. So, Order of Schools. The vacant school board position has finally been filled. Monday night, Warren Malden was sworn in as the new school board member. It's very important. Yeah, that's a volunteer position, and it's a very important volunteer position. Lindenwold School District was awarded a $28 million grant. This is a facilities grant, and it's the largest in the state. We received the largest grant in the state.
28 million.
28.
I got a text message from the governor.
Right. And this is for facilities for HVC and roofing, etc. We got just a little bit of bad news. The district exhausted all of its means in hiring the new world language teachers. They're really hard to find. All schools are having this problem with like French and world teachers and stuff like that for these languages. But there is a way around it. What they're going to do is they're going to have a world geography with Duolingo. and that's going to make our state requirements. Also, you know, our schools are getting to, like, Lindenwold's up and coming now. You know, they're going to start taking pride in our town, and schools are going to go, they're going to start putting Lindenwold on there to show our town pride on there. It's going to be on our athletic equipment and everything, you know. So, also, they, you know, this is one for the library. They took a survey. This was one of the other meetings, and there was a percentage of the kids that had less than 10 books in their house. That's something worth thinking about for anybody who's, you know, against the libraries and stuff like that in your towns and areas. 10 books was the percentage of kids that only had 10 books in their house. Also, with our benchmark proficiency test, they were down after COVID. They were down really low. And I understand we're a working class town, and but they went up significantly. They went up, some of them even went up to 80% now since the kids been back in school, which is really good. And that's the benchmark proficiency. That's when we measure our kids going from grade up to 5th grade. It's like a benchmark. They do that to see where we're at, how our kids are doing. You know, just one other thing, like we always talk about the scams and everything. There's another scam on your phone now. Don't push the link. If you're getting it from somebody you don't know or anything like that, you see one of them fancy links up there, don't push it, because that's another new one. They can hack your phone now with that. You know, I wasn't aware. They can actually hack your phone with that and get your information. That's all I got, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Patton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our Lindenwold Library report for August. Books, DVD circulation 262. Computer usage 146. Our total patrons 3,601. Library materials 14,043. We have 14 adult new members and 6 children for a total of 20. The public events, as far as public events is concerned, the Public Events Committee is hosting Lindenwold Day next Saturday, September 23rd, from 12 to 7. We are planning amusements, music, and we have over 35 vendors so far, and hopefully more coming in. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. I hope to see you. One more thing. September 30th is our community-wide fall yard sale. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what that was.
September 30th is our community-wide fall yard sale.
Full yard sale, okay. Councilwoman Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For senior citizens, there's going to be a bingo on October 26th at the Wayne Bryan Center. You'll get a free lunch. You have to be 55 or older, seats are limited, and you do have to RSVP, so I do have flyers with me if anybody would like one. Also, just for seniors, after dark, the ceramic class they do over at Lakeland at the Tapiro Center. You do not have to have experience for this. They will help you with any paints that you need. The project, the paints, the glazing, firing, all that's included with a suggested donation of $25. The seats are limited for this also. You have to be 60 or older and a Camden County resident. And as another gnome, but it's a really cute gnome if anybody would like a flyer. Then Camden County Senior Services is holding their senior health fair on October 4th at the Voorhees Town Center. If you attend this, you're going to go through the food court to get into it. This event is free for everybody. It's really geared to seniors 60 or older, and it's also the kickoff event for the Camden County Food Program, which they will have sites throughout the county. I looked today, they do not have the list up, so I'm not sure their dates, but I will find that out. They're also going to have COVID vaccine sites. Booster shots will also be available. There's going to be a free lunch, goodie bags while supplies last. Today, Assemblyman Moriarty came to Lakeland to talk to some seniors about the tax relief program. So there's 3 programs going on right now, and it's a lot of information he gave today. The anchor program, that is the one that is right now, that started. That's for seniors with incomes under $250,000. That if you're single, you'd receive $1,250. Married couples are $1,750. Renters, their income $150 or less, they can get $700 a year. This will be in place for 3 years until Stay New Jersey starts, and that starts in January of 2026. Also, if you did not apply for the ENCO program, you can still apply for that. His office, a woman named Karen, will help everybody who needs help. Her number is 856-323-6700. She's going to help you apply. You will get a letter saying that you're denied. Don't get upset when you get that letter. You're going to call Karen again saying, I got the letter. Then she's going to do an appeal for you. So in the appeal, what they're doing is saying that the state didn't advertise this well enough because it replaced their home state rebates, and now a lot of people didn't know about that. So they're trying to get as many people to apply as possible. Then you have your senior freeze program, and this is starting the spring of '24, and it's eligible to all residents. Then instead of having to be here 10 years, you only have to be here 3 years. Then we have our New Jersey State program, which is starting in January of '26. This is a new program for senior citizens who are homeowners 65 or older with an income of $500,000 or less. You're going to get half off of your property taxes. There's a max of $6,500 on this. So, wait a second. What will happen with the home state rebate? You paid all your your freeze. You pay all your taxes, and then you get money back at the end of the year. With this, it's not going to be that way. So if your taxes are, say, $2,000 a year, when you get your tax bill, you're going to see credit $1,000, because that is what they're giving you. Then you're going to have your bills $1,000. I know it's a lot of information, and they're still going through a lot of stuff about it. Then, in 2025, these 3 programs are going to be on one application. You fill your one application out, and the state's going to see what benefits you the best out of these three programs. I do have a flyer. It doesn't have a whole lot of information, but if somebody wants one, we do have a flyer, so you can have that also. Then for the health report, yesterday the FDA approved a new COVID shot. This shot is a new formula, and it's supposed to target all the variants that are out there at this time. The shots are going to be available later this week or early next week at doctor's offices, pharmacies. So the CDC director is recommending everyone gets the vaccine shot. If you've gotten it, then you get your booster shots. If you do not get a vaccine shot, you go get your vaccine. You can get your flu shot and vaccine shot at the same time. And they're saying with the flu season, with the flu, COVID, RSV, that your best chances not to get sick is to have your vaccines. If you get sick, make sure you get tested as soon as possible. That way, they'll know exactly what virus you have. They can get you on some medication. And with that, you shouldn't get too sick or end up in a hospital. And that's all, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Mrs. Thompson. I just wanted to add the library hours have been updated. Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday been updated from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, this time I'm going to open the meeting to the public. Anyone in the public wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and please don't forget to sign in.
Diane Terry, 637 Fifth Avenue. I have a question for the engineer. What was the cost of the parking lot out there?
Oh, for the, you say for the contract amount?
Yeah, the new parking lot.
It's 160,000.
Okay, so then my next question is, Mayor, I know you always told me I was not community friendly, so what makes you think putting a new parking lot in front of everything else that Lindenwold needs is community friendly? Like the community center, a real library, stuff like that. Why couldn't that money be used for that? Why did you have to have a new parking lot for you and your staff? And you could have did something for the residents?
I did do something for the residents. Unfortunately, if you noticed, there's a place for you to park now. There's been
You always had a place to park.
No, there's been people parking up and down Linden Avenue.
What's the difference? You still have a place to park. You have to spend $160,000 when there's other things that Lindenwold residents would need.
And it didn't cost the taxpayers a penny. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak?
Thank you. Hi, Name's Joe Amadeo, 25 Georgetown Road, Lindenwold. Dawn, I spoke to Jeff twice, and I called the state twice, and I still haven't got my money back from my retirement fund that the governor forced us to take out of our paychecks. It's been 3 years since I've worked for Lindenwold.
And this is the first that I'm hearing this from. So,
Right, I know, that's why I brought it up.
okay, so
you know,
this is really not the appropriate time to address something like that because it is personnel related. So call my office and you and I can work that out. Because I do have my assistant who handles the pension aspect.
Right, Jeff,
Yeah,
yeah, he's the accountant. He said he contacted him twice, and we haven't got any results. So I figured,
I'll get involved and just give me a call and we can take care of that.
yeah, because it's not very much, a few bucks. I only worked a few years. They forced us to take this. Well, you know about it, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Valerie Card. I live at 609 Meadowview, and I just want to thank the mayor and everybody for having them clean out those recyclable bins. That was very pleasing. But we still have a problem with mice.
Oh, Jesus.
And I talked to other people in the area. They said they have a problem with mice too. So maybe it's something environment going on that the field mice are coming in. And it's getting ready to be winter time, and I don't like mice. So, I just want
Ms. Carr, it's my understanding that the complex did receive an inspection, there were violation notices, and that they're going to be re-inspected. So it's our understanding that, once our inspectors go back out, they were warned in terms of that situation and that they should be working to rectify it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I've been telling this poor lady for months now.
Hi, Roxanne Berger, 811 Myrtle Avenue. A couple questions. I do appreciate the new system for the poll. I found it very easy. It wasn't cumbersome. I just have a little notation. There was a drop down. There should be a spot for other, just in case you have. I couldn't find that piece, so I don't know who developed that, but maybe they need another drop down that says other, so that you can explain what is necessary to be picked up if it's not among that drop down list. My second question was about reviewing the community energy plan. If I heard you correctly, you have to come here to get a copy. Is it possible to request that it be emailed to those that work? Like, how does that work?
It will be online after tonight's meeting. They'll get it on within the next couple of days.
Okay, so we'll be able to review it
It'll be
before
on
you
the website.
actually vote on it then? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's been voted on. It's only, this is only a plan. It's suggestions. It's not anything that's
Yes,
set in
yes.
stone.
And I
It's
understand,
not-
and that's why I asked.
We've already done some of the things that are on this list already, like tomorrow they're going to be putting all of the conduit in for the electrical charging stations. It's a suggestion, it's a plan, it's not something that's set in stone.
And that's why I was asking, could the borough pick and choose line by line what initiatives? And then I was inquiring about what initiatives Lindenwold had picked. So the plan has been approved, and now you're going to go through the initiatives, or you have the initiatives that you're going to work
We'll go through the initiatives. That's one of the works that we do on the most.
It's free.
Thank you.
Trevor, you're up.
Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Edward Hagan. Hi, Ms. Patton, how are you? I am the resident of 125 South Lambers Pike, in the McCarters Apartments. I am the resident maintenance manager of this property. And I want to speak to you regarding a very neglected and often forgotten street that comes into the back of my property. called Scott Avenue, not to be confused with Scott Avenue across town. This is a block away from here. Over the years, I've had to go to the school board regarding a piece of property they own on the side of that street because the foliage has grown and it's back out about 2 feet out into the street. I have pictures with me today, if I'm not going to give them to you. But it's always been an ongoing problem. But the foliage is growing so far out the street, it envelops the curb, you can't even see the street signs. Okay, second issue is, over the years, I guess with the dump station of any extra paving that they come up with, because it's been patched on top of patch, on top of patch, on top of patch, on top of patch. There's really mountains of patches on one side of the street. Now, the reason this is a problem is because the people that exit my property tend to try to avoid all them patches and go to the wrong side of the street to go out. And I've been many times when they built that new house, we almost had accidents on that corner because people come off the pipe onto Elm Avenue, make the right in the street, somebody's coming up the wrong side of the street. And that is also School 5 bus stop for the young children early in the morning and late in the afternoon. I just want to bring it to your attention to see if anything can be done about this street. It's, my property manager or my property owner has dumped hundreds of millions of dollars into this property, including paving this part of the street from our property line all the way down to our dumpsters. So that part of the street has been paved by us. But the part of the street that goes from my property out to Elm Avenue is a disaster, an absolute disaster, and it's actually becoming a safety, it's been a safety issue as far as I'm concerned. Now, I'd like to say thank you to whoever sent the crew out yesterday. They finally cut the trees that made it a tunnel. They cut all the low-hanging branches. I was amazed to see somebody out there because I've been living on this property for 16 years and never seen anybody do anything on this street. And not to mention the property on the other side of the street who likes to dump all his bulk items halfway in the street at the end of his driveway. We kind of have to use this as an exit because the police have asked us not to let people go out our front entrance because that dumps them right on the curb of the laborer's pike. In fact, they want us to put signs out there saying do not exit for that very reason. So this street being a hazard like this, I don't know what can be done about it, but it'd be great if somebody could at least come out and take a look at it and figure something out because it's gotten worse. And the additional problem it causes is that because that is main storm drainage, all the drainage from Elm Avenue comes down Scott Avenue, comes through our property and goes out a little trough they go into the creek, brings all the sand, all the rocks, all that stuff and deposits it in our parking lot. So, I mean, it's an ongoing problem, and I'd like to put on record to see what somebody can do about it. I mean, it's
Are you there tomorrow?
Excuse me?
Are you there tomorrow?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Give me a number.
609-685-9897.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. And if you want the pictures, I have the pictures.
See you in person.
Okay.
Trevor?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Trevor Shaw, 805 Norcross Road, Lindenwold. I want to start by thanking the Public Works Committee, specifically Odessa, Walter, and Ray, for all of your help and support in putting together that community concert. It was a wonderful event. Thank you for inviting the Lindenwold team to come out and support that, participate. As you guys know, if you were there, we gave out another 20 bikes and more than 350 books to the community. So to Walter's point about literacy needs in this community, there are a number of groups here trying to help that effort. We'll be giving away another 500 or 700 books at the upcoming Lindenwold Day. Wanted to ask about the community outreach event as far as, we used to see organizations like the library, and I think there were a couple of others too, that used to come to public events like that, set up like a tent and interact with the community and so forth. We haven't seen that in a while. We're wondering why that is. And then also, a little while back, we saw, and we're actually excited about the fact that we hired, or at least appointed, a community outreach coordinator for Lindenwold. We're curious, among the three of you specifically, like what role was the community outreach coordinator able to play with that outreach event, and what were they able to do to help support that event? Thank you, by the way, for announcing the expanded library hours. That's been something I know the community's been looking for a long time, something outside the scope of when people are at work or at school, so that's great. I wanted to ask about website updates. It's one thing we asked about at the last meeting, and I know we hit you with a lot of stuff, so you probably didn't get to it, but if we could find out when the updates are coming to that. As you guys probably already know, we're still talking about 2010 census info. Where are the 8 new dumpsters going that are on tonight's agenda? The 8-yarders, where are they going to be placed? And then last but not least, I just wanted to ask for a moment of silence for all the residents who've gone yet another month with having no movement or access to the community center or the basketball court.
Second. Trevor, is that it?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
I was unaware that we had a community outreach coordinator. Has that position been filled?
Yes.
And who was that contact person?
Just the,
It's Brenda Roach. She's at the Brenda Roach. She's the community outreach coordinator.
Brenda Roach?
Yes.
It's the mayor's wife. In case you didn't know.
Is that a paid position?
It is, yes.
Along with the librarian.
it's not paid to be using
So, and she's, and is there a number?
And as far, I'm sorry, say
Is there a number that I could contact her?
you can reach out to the library.
Okay.
Yes, it's right at the library.
My name is Gladys Hardy. I live in the Meadowview condominiums / apartments with Ms. Carr. I just wanted to thank your office for having that recycling bin removed. Well, not removed, but empty. We have been complaining about it for some time. Nothing was done. And now we have field mice. I do believe that, I don't know where they're coming from. There's a lot of construction going on down United States Avenue. Perhaps they're coming from there, I don't know. But you have to stay on the owners to get exterminators. How many times do you have to call? You have to call constantly. They will not answer the phone. And that's one of the problems. But one thing that I wanted to say, and I asked about this in several other town hall meetings, about the ordinances. The ordinances that I've read, they don't benefit the tenant in any way. They only benefit the owners. Not one that I have read benefited the tenant at all. Rent control was taken away. I spoke about that before. Owners do not have to pay between tenants. You cannot get a repair done. As far as paint is concerned, the owners want the tenant to paint the apartment. This didn't happen before. When I first moved there, it was rent control, and also the owners painted the apartments between tenants. Now, that does not happen. So every ordinance that was passed for this town, I don't know about anyone else, but for this town that I have read, does not benefit the tenants. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, close the meeting to public minutes and motion for adjournment.
He couldn't even say his wife's name.
Motion for adjournment. In a second?
Second.
Are there any responses to any of my questions?